Hi, I'm Gretchen Weisgram, and welcome back to Artist Tips for Art Fairs. One thing that's really important, seems like a no-brainer, but there could be questions that come up, are business cards. Now, I want to share with you some best practices so that you are putting your best professional foot forward and you have the right kind of information on your cards that can get those customers to contact you. So, number one, um, make sure your name is on it. You may be operating with a business name that's different than your artist name. Please include your artist name as well as your business name so that people know who you are. Um, Part of selling art is the persona of the artist, and so make sure you have that connection with your customers. So, number two, contact information. You'll see I've got my email address and my web address listed on here. I don't list my phone number. In the years that I've been selling art, I have never received a phone call from somebody wanting to order something. So you can put it on there if you like, but I would say it's not a really important point on the business card. I would say email is a great piece of information to have. I get a lot of orders via email, but your website is essentially your second display. They're going to look at your website and remember what they saw in your booth. So direct them to your website. Make sure you have a contact form. Make sure you have your other contact information on your website, and that's going to be sufficient. So keeping it simple, your business name, your artist name, your email address, and your website. So I get lots of questions. Do I put all of my social media accounts listed on my card? I want to make sure people are following me, they're seeing my latest work. Social media is really important. The answer is yes, social media is important, but don't list it all on your card. It's actually going to make you look a little bit unprofessional and desperate. So direct them to your website, have all of that information on your website, make it easily linkable from your website, and that is going to be sufficient. Um, the last thing I want to go through, probably the most important, is make sure you have an image of your work. So you see here, I'm a watercolor artist. I have some of my imagery on my work. Um, I've seen artists with cards where it's just their name, their contact information. And as a customer, if I'm going to a really large scale art fair and there are hundreds of booths, there's pottery that I really fell in love with. Um, I pick up a card. I see 70 other pottery vendors. Suddenly, I don't remember who's who. So make sure you have a high resolution color photo of your art. That is their connection to you. They fall in love with your art. Uh, they pick up your card. They want to remember whose card is whose. I have mine on the front of the card. You can also use the back real estate of your business card to put a really nice full-size image there. If you don't want to spend the money on two-sided printing, you can just put it on one side of the card, and that's just fine. So, really important, get your artwork on your business card. So where do you get business cards? Local vendors are great. I personally liked to use the online tools. They have really great templates that you can pull from, add your images, print it. You can get it anywhere from 2 business days to 7 business days. It's pretty economical, and you can get all kinds of other promotional material from the online businesses that sell. I use Vistaprint. I'm not tied to that, but that's a really large scale vendor that I've used that I've had really good luck with. Now, last thing I want to talk about is where do you put these business cards in your booth? Um, Putting them in your pocket, having a stack of them that you can hand out, not the best thing. Why is that? Because if customers are coming in your booth, you're busy, maybe somebody's making a purchase, you're explaining a piece of artwork to somebody, you don't have time to go and pass out cards to everybody that you think wants one. Make these cards easily accessible towards the front of your booth and self-service for customers. Great way to do that, get a really small, lightweight, decorative table, like a little end table. Put it towards the front of your booth, use it just for business cards, and it makes it really accessible and stand out. The last thing about cards in your booth is you want to be prepared for weather. So you don't want to put a bunch of cards out, the wind comes up, blows crap everywhere in your booth. It's a mess. You're busy picking up cards from the ground, dusting them off, and it just doesn't make for a good show. So make sure that you either put them in a nice little container. You could do a decorative box. I've used a decorative cup. Make sure that they're housed well. You can fan them out like this and put a decorative clamp on them and lay it on the table. Customers are going to know to pluck one out and leave the rest there. That's a great way to do it and be windproof. Or if you want to fan them out on a table, that's a great way to do it. Just make sure you have a paperweight. Thank you for watching. I'd love a visit to my website. Otherwise, please follow, like, and subscribe for more tips.